Action, Danny, action.
What's up, guys? This is Danny and Moofizal back in our live chat collectors, HMO collectors. This is the third one that we're doing, and I'm back in London, and I had a lot of amazing time in Singapore, and the con was really, really good. And thank you so much for me staying over at your place. I really enjoyed it. I actually miss you guys already. I can't wait to do another con. And so it is the 17th of September. This is the third chat that we've been doing. And we are going to be talking about everything sci-fi. And I'm going to pass it over to Mafiza.
Yeah, hi guys. Welcome back. So we like what we promised last week, we're going to try and do this every week. The days might be different because Danny and I, we all have jobs to do. You might be wondering why I'm wearing this. Well, well, it's really cold here in Singapore now.
Oh, wow.
No, it's not. Of course not. So what we like to do in the studio is actually pump up the aircon really, really high so that we kind of work in a comfortable environment. So anyway, thank you so much, Danny, for coming down to Singapore. It was really nice having you here.
Thank
I had to
you.
clean up all the mess that you left in the...
Yeah, cool. So,
How was the flight back, man?
Hey?
How was the flight back?
The flight, you know, I was like, over the show, like from Friday to Sunday, I was getting like 3 hours sleep a day because after the show I was promoting like online and posting pictures and stuff. So on the flight back, I just slept the whole flight, like 12 hours. So
lucky you, we didn't sleep at all.
Oh, bugger you. Well, yeah, okay. So let us get cracking with the third chat. And this is everything that we're going to be talking about. But first we are going to start with Bathos. And we have the second character going up for pre-order on the 24th of September, which is next Saturday, 7 days from now. And the price is, for everyone that doesn't know, the price is $799, and that is because he is huge. He is like gigantically big. He's 28 inches, so he's really going to stand out with the other hunters. And the deposit is going to be $250, and when is he going to ship, Mafizal? I think people really want to know when we plan to ship this bad boy.
Right, so before we talk about shipping, let's talk about, I want to explain a little bit more about the price. So $799, there's two factors for the price. One, it's only 175 edition size.
Very limited.
So we're only making 175 pieces. Number two is I asked the team to give me a very high budget for production. So I wanted to make sure that I use the best material possible. I wanted to make sure that we use the best paint possible. We also made sure that we use the best printer out there to have the highest amount of detail possible on this piece of sculpt. Like I said before in a previous chat, I'm saying that we broke the pieces to many, 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 many small pieces. And for example, the arm itself, just the arm itself has about maybe 20, 25 parts. So I wanted to make sure that each part is casted separately so that we can get all the crisp detail. With that being said, production, although it's 175 pieces, it's going to take me a little bit of time for me to actually work with the production house. So I'm going to say anywhere between 4 to 6 months from the pre-order date.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I've been telling people like December 2017. That's like a year and a bit.
Well, production is 6 months. After that, we have all the packaging, we have all the warehousing,
all the QC and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then after that, we have
the nice thing about what we're trying to do with Bathos, sorry to cut you off, I'll be cutting you off quite a lot throughout this. But the nice thing about Bathos is that we are not rehashing these characters. So when you get Crow King, we are not going to paint him black and offer like another 20, or paint him white and offer another 50 or something like that. And this is what we kind of want with our universe. We wanted just one edition size, and then that's it, and we move on to the next character.
Right. So maybe you want to talk about Crow King a little bit, because people are really excited about the character that's coming up. The pre-order is coming up, but let's hear it, Danny.
Yeah. So Crow King is a villain that you really don't want to miss. I mean, Crow King is our main protagonist. Is it protagonist or antagonist? Antagonist. Antagonist in our line, and he has formed a secret, like, intergalactic, like, band of knights, and they are called the Sons of Connor. So Crow King is kind of like our Vader of the Bounties of Bathos line. And there's not a lot that I can say on the character per se, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to write 3 novels, which is going to take a very, very long time. And Crow King kind of shows up in the 3rd novel. So he is, his story is very hidden, but he's really, really cool. And what we're going to be doing, what I'm going to be doing for Crow King, is that I'm going to be writing an origin story on him before Bathos. And all of those stories we're going to post online for free. So I have a lot of work to do. Mafizel has, bullseye on my back, like, give me updates. So, yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing for the website and for the fans and stuff. We're going to start releasing before Bathos. And then, when we have more time, we're going to actually release what Bathos is. And then afterwards, we're going to release, like, the aftermath and stuff. So it's a huge, huge universe. And it's definitely a character that you want to get if you want to have the main focal characters in the universe.
Yeah. So when you said that that Crow King is going to appear on the 3rd novel, but his story already starts from the 1st novel, correct? Because people will still be talking about him. He will still, you're talking about when you say appear in the 3rd novel, you're saying that he actually has presence on the 3rd book?
Yeah, throughout the book, throughout the 1st and 2nd book, they will be speaking of him as does he, I don't give too much away, but in the 3rd book, he will make his appearance. Okay. And it's not so much of a spoiler. It's kind of like we really wanted to show the main character and the main villain. And in order to do that, we had to kind of give a few spoilers. But he will be, we will be writing an origin on him. Okay. And you will know kind of why he's so evil, building up to the books, which we think kind of is a good idea, so that you guys can get content fast. It's all about faster content.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about this Ravager helmet that we've been talking about.
Yes.
So, can we show them?
Yeah, cool. Let's show them what they're going to be getting. And the Ravager helmet you're going to be getting if you order Crow King from Saturday, which is when he first goes up, for the next 50 days. So we are strongly that we are not doing any exclusives for these. It's kind of like the people that support us first, we want to give back to you.
All right. So let me talk a little bit about, I hope you guys can see. Can you see this, Danny?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yes. Oh, yeah. You got to talk for them to see it.
All right. Okay. So anyway, this is, well, this is my 3D Studio Max. So this is what I usually work on when I want to do hard surface modeling and robotic looking figures. But anyway, so here is the Ravager helmet. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the design. So, of course, this is still a work in progress. So, wow, it's very heavy. It's got some billions of polygons, I'm not sure. But anyway, So if you look at the design of the helmet, his name is Crow King. Danny won't tell us why he's called Crow King yet, but I wanted to actually use the bird itself as an influence of the design of the helmet. So if you look at his helmet, it's got an element of a bird on it. Now we're still working on this one. Me and Danny have been discussing about it daily, about how the final daily or hourly maybe. But anyway, yeah, there it is. That's how he looks like.
Yeah, no, and I think it looks really cool. It's a different take on his normal helmet. And the Raven helm head is, it's going to be in another one of the characters' origin stories. So that's when we're going to explain the different helmet. And no, it's going to be a good take on the character. And yeah, I'm excited to see it printed and painted. So hopefully we can get that done soon. And
just for the helmet, I will work on it a little bit more with Danny, and then we're going to do a render, and then we're going to post it up on our HMO Insiders Bounties of Bathos group. If you haven't joined it yet, please go ahead and do. That's where everything about Bathos and about HMO is being talked about. Not only by us, but by our fans as well, by our supporters, and a lot of contents are coming in there.
And yeah, just, I just want to say thank you to everybody at Singapore Comic Con and everyone online. So many people have been positive on the feedback on Bounties of Bathos, and I know a lot of people want to hear the story. And I've bought like loads of books and stuff, and I'm going to be working on the story very, very, very hard. So please just give us time. This is, for us, it's a little bit overwhelming because we didn't actually think that Bounties of Bathos would do this good. And for the fans to be giving us so much love and support, we are really, really grateful for it. And with this line, as collectors, we want to give as much as possible back to you guys as we possibly can. Isn't that right, Mafizel?
Yeah. So then he says that as a collector, we keep saying that as a collector. What we do is we actually put ourselves, because I collect, not as much as Danny. Look at his back.
Well, not as much as the other guys online, but yeah, we try.
but as a collector, I always look at the stuff I create, and I say like, would I collect it? Would I personally want this on my shelf?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, then I'll go ahead and discuss with Danny. It's like, say, what do you think about this? And then he'll go say, yeah, I'll do that. People love action poses, but you need to make sure that it fits in the display properly. You need to be able to make sure that people can actually collect them. So that's why when Danny says as collectors, that's what we mean.
Definitely. I mean, we kind of are, HMO is kind of like a company. We always want to put ourselves in the collector's shoes. And we don't want to cut any corners with production or cut any corners with photos or paint or anything like that. If we show something, we want to get it as close as we possibly can to it. And we want to give people a lot of free content so that they can be like, they can invest in our universe. And, we want to also listen to everybody's thoughts and feedback. And there was a really cool collector. His name is Jackson of Polystone. And he sent me like a message like, can you make this sort of type of character and it will be really cool and stuff. And, I've actually taken that on board, and we have created a character very similar to what he's asked, but it's going to be like with a twist. So yeah, we're going to be giving back a lot, and let us talk about the 3 references for Bathos.
All right.
Just to tell people like how we came about with this idea.
Okay. Let me just pull up the picture first. Hold on. Well, if I pull up the picture, I have to talk about it.
Oh, no, just pull up the picture and then I'll leave it for a bit and then I'll talk about it.
Okay.
You can talk about 2. I'll talk about 1.
Okay. Let me see.
Pull up the blue gender one.
Hold on. Technology, Danny.
Yeah, I know it took us so long to start this chat. But we got it now. It's on events. It's on the events. Click tab button.
Come up. Okay.
Oh no, spoiler. Spoiler, you're showing too many. I'm not ready. Wait, you're supposed to show one, no?
What? Did you see it? Do you see it?
Yeah, but it's showing all the others.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to do this. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
Yes, as usual. I'm sure I can do this. Let me figure it out. Just want to make sure that I show the right folder. Chat. Sorry, Danny. Hold on, yeah?
No, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, let's carry on with the show. So there's for us, when we started to create Bathos, we would recommend that you watch these 3 animes. And Bathos is heavily influenced by anime. I think the stories in anime are so original, and a lot of times Hollywood comes in and they take ideas from anime and they make movies, and those movies turn out to be great. But anime has very, very, very original stories. And the first one, which Mafizal's trying to get the picture for, but I'll talk about it anyway, is Blue Gender. And if you haven't heard Blue Gender, that is how we came about with the reference for croaking. Of course, with Blue Gender, it's more of a mech that they jump into, and you can't see a lot of their body. You can see that their face and stuff. But with Blue Gender, we really kind of wanted the mech feel where you see that the character is actually moving the mech, and he's moving the arms, and he's moving the guns and all of that stuff. And that is one of our favorite anime. It's very, very old, but please do check it out. That's Blue Gender. And the second one, can I go on over to the second one?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
so the second one.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. No, we wanted to do it all professional and stuff, but we are learning with this whole chat and stuff. But it's cool. The second one is Ghost in a Shell. And I think Ghost in a Shell is, one of the biggest anime films out there, and one of the best sci-fi films in animation, and the story is really, really cool. You see, the whole futuristic aspect of robots and how they're becoming more human, and how they have all of these humanistic, there's a word that I just made up, but they have all of these human attributes, the robots. And with Bathos, there is a lot of, in the story, there's kind of a lot of intermingling. So they want humans to be more robotic, especially the soldiers. And you're going to see that in more of the Sons of Connor. And the third one.
Well, let's stay on Ghost in the Shell for a while, because this movie, when Danny talked about Bounties of Bathos, this is one of the first things that I actually thought about. So they're coming up with a movie, right? Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah. And let's hope Hollywood doesn't butcher it. I mean, it's very, very difficult to get an anime translated movie into a live action film and make it work. But, with a big budget and with all the special effects and with Scarlett Johansson, it might be really good. It might be. Hollywood is.
Yeah,
but yeah, so and the third one is, I'll just show it Akira. And this is obviously, where the whole post-apocalyptic idea came in with Bathos. And this is all sci-fi fans should watch this. This is really amazing. And again, with what's coming up next, you got it?
Yeah, look, I finally got a picture of Akira.
After we finished all the topics. I'm joking. Okay, talk about Akira and how it influenced Bathos universe.
Right. So everything about Akira. I mean, this is one of the greatest sci-fi post-apocalyptic anime ever. I mean, when it came out, I think it blew everybody away. And I think I watch this movie every year, at least twice.
Oh, wow.
Because I mean, I'm a huge fan of Akira. I mean, that bike, Kaneda, the whole story is very deep. I mean, there's a whole subculture about how Akira and what are the hidden messages behind Akira. I won't go into that. But basically, what we loved about Akira is the post-apocalyptic setting, the very, very deep storyline, how everything is connected to each other. There's a whole backstory behind. The universe is so big, but the story that the anime is telling is, again, it's a very small part of a very, very big story. And that's what we liked about it.
Yeah, and I think, the Bathos universe, it's taken us so long to get it out there to you guys because it's so complex. It's very, very, very complicated. And for the past 2 years, I wrote like a 350-page novel. But when Mafizal read it, he was like, you need to simplify this because people will be confused. So I'm going on to do a different take, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be obviously releasing the short stories and kind of simplifying it more until we get to like the real nitty-gritty stuff.
When I read it, it's not about simplifying the story. It's about simplifying the storytelling.
Yeah.
So it's more about structuring the story so that it's more palpable. Is palpable the right word?
Yes, it is.
More edible. You can actually eat the book.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we are really good at building universes, but I'm not a good storyteller yet. So, there's a difference in building a universe and there's a difference in telling the story for a universe. So that's what we're working on, but there's going to be a lot of content next year and more hunters next year. So
guys, bless this guy for being so honest.
No, I mean, you gotta be. You gotta.
For sure.
You gotta, take a step back and release content that is really, really good. I mean, if it's not good yet, go back to the drawing board, make it good. And it's the same thing with Mafizal and sculpting. I mean, there's a lot of times that he will make a large chunk of a character, and I'll just be like, I don't like it. I mean, change it, make it better. And he has to do it, he has to go back and he has to rework it, and it takes time and it's frustrating, but that's what we got to do, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the delete button has, on your keyboard, they have like white paints on the the delete button.
It's in the computer.
Anyway, so let's get on with it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about next?
Now we are talking about the surprise at next year's Singapore Comic-Con. So what everybody can be excited for. Now, what we want to do with Bathos is with every character, we want to give you something fresh, something new. With Ren, we gave you 3 heads for the first character, okay? We are probably never going to do 3 heads for character again. With Crow King, we gave you a very large character in a mech suit. And we threw in a second head for you guys. But with the third character, what I want to do, and Mafizal doesn't want to do this too much, but we are going to kind of come to a conclusion on what's the best thing to do. And that's the third character, and that is 3 weapons that we are going to give on the third character. The first one is her normal pose, and in the story,
what are you talking about?
we're talking about Sorrow.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to. I was so excited. I was just like, third character. No, but the third character is Sorrow, and she is very pivotal to the story because she is Crow-King's general. So picture it like this. Crow-King is a lion. She's a lioness. He sleeps. She goes out and hunt. That's how you can picture Sorrow. Like, she is probably the main killer in our story. She does all the dirty work for the Sons of Connor, and I'm very, very excited to write her origin story because in the whole of the 12 characters, she is the second most liked character from myself. So I have a deep connection to this character. And with a sword, with a pose and a sword, what I want to do for the second weapon is we kind of want to give her something that lights up, a weapon that lights up, because this is that's sci-fi, you know what I mean? We can't be doing swords and shields, and there's going to be a lot more about swords and shields next year, which I'm not going to say anything about, but there is, the element that we want to bring to all of these characters. So can Mafizel, can you not be hiding?
You see, I'm just being very quiet right now. Now, again, I just, because we talked about this last week, we said that we wanted to do some light ups. The main reason is because light ups always come with problems. Because when you design a statue and you have light up, and if you get the wiring wrong internally and it breaks down, it will be very frustrating for the collector because you won't be able to fix it.
Yeah, but how are we going to counter that?
Yes.
Going to be
how are we going to counter that? Let me tell them.
Okay.
How we're going to counter that is that we are actually going to design the sword itself to light up by itself and has its own power source that is not connected to the statue itself.
See, he said it. So now it got to happen. Yes! Oh! I got you.
And hold on.
Camera.
The best part about it is that because it's our own character, we can actually design the sword to make sure that it can hold its own power source.
Yeah.
And it will look cool.
And what we might do with that arm is we might kind of sculpt like an engine which is attached to a hand where we will put the battery in, so it will all make sense, because it's not like the whole crystal lightsaber stuff. It's something which you have to be very powerful, and you put your hand in and you have to be able to swing it, and it got a motor on it for it to all light up. So that's an idea.
Do you want to remind people how she looks like?
Yeah, we can, if you can bring it up.
All right. Let me bring it up. Oh, you ready to show people? Let's show them.
Oh, we showed them at the last one, didn't we?
Yeah. But I'm always nervous about showing designs that are not sculpted yet, but here she is.
Yeah.
So let me talk a little bit about the design. So these was designed by Danny, myself, and the Silva brothers. Again, they are amazing, Danny. They're really, really good at understanding what bathos is. I think going forward, we don't really have to explain to them anymore about the design of bathos. I mean, they get it already. So I really like the design. I mean, that's the weapon that Danny is talking about. We might design another weapon that has a background story in Danny's book. Now, looking at her feet, I think that's also another signature about bathos, is that all the designs have something really, really unique about it. If you look at the arm, well, she got her arm cut off. Danny can probably tell you more about why and how.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but yeah, okay, keep talking.
But
no spoilers.
No spoilers. Don't worry. The way the hand is attached to a power unit on her back and she's controlling that hand with her shoulder. Man, I've never seen any design like this before.
Yeah, and I think, with all the characters, because, we creating collectibles here for, people to display. And with all the characters, we kind of want them to be art pieces. So we don't want to make something which is similar to Star Wars or to Aliens or to Predator. We want to show you something that's never been seen before in a collectible to get you guys interested in the line. And, with the fourth character, we were going to do Necrosis. I think, I've mentioned to a few people, he's kind of like the samurai ninja, huge mech type character. But with Necrosis, he is going to be very expensive because of his size. And we've already released, well, we're going to release on Saturday a very expensive character. So what we're going to do is we are going to release another character which is the same size, a little bit bigger than Ren and Sorrow, just so, it can be easier for people to get onto the line. Because, $800 is a lot of money, and we kind of want to bring the next two characters down to the $650 type range and stuff like that. So new collectors can jump on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now,
all right.
With the character who we've substituted for Necrosis, this one we are going to leave.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. This one we are going to leave just for Singapore. So we will only release him in Singapore, and the pictures and the video and everything for him in Singapore. We're not even going to say his name, who he is and stuff. But what we will say, what I will say, which is a small hint, is he is one of the Knights of Croaking. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, so let's go on over to the next segment. And that is, we, in these chats, everything is going to be related to sci-fi. And further on after, actually, no, it's not going to be related to sci-fi. I should just cancel that statement. In the further chats, we are going to be talking about the other licenses that we are doing and the other universes that we're doing. But there'll always be a little bit of sci-fi included in it. So we are going to be going on...
Fans.
What?
Because we're sci-fi fans.
We are big sci-fi fans. Yeah, we watch like all the sci-fi movies. I've read tons of sci-fi books, sci-fi comics, sci-fi video games. Now sci-fi collectibles.
I have something to say about sci-fi. We didn't discuss about this, but a lot of people think like science fiction is about robots and it's about cyborgs and lasers. It's actually not. Science fiction is about anything that is fictional that has science as a base. So it could be a new species, it could be aliens, it doesn't have to be technology.
True. Yeah. And with Bathos, we are going to be, on the later characters, we are going to be introducing a little bit of a horror element in some of the characters. Not morbid, not gruesome stuff, but, the whole cyborg, zombie, dead human, brought back to life mech. We're going to be introducing that to some of the characters, which I think has never been done before in collectibles, and that's cool.
I think you could. I think if I asked you to say that again, you wouldn't be able to.
I wouldn't be able to now. I already forgot. But yeah, let us talk about sci-fi games.
All right. What do you want to talk about?
The first one that we are going to talk about is, I don't even know how to pronounce this. Is it Deus Ex?
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Deus.
Deus.
The picture.
I played all of the games, but I still can't pronounce the name. It's really bad. Okay, so have you played
we're talking about Mankind Divided, right?
the new one, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that came out this month.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Let me
Are
just.
you just guessing?
No.
Yes. Now, have you played these games before?
Well, to be honest, I did play the old Deus Ex, but I didn't get a chance to play the new ones. Although the characters do look really, really cool.
Yeah, and what I particularly like about this game is it does bring something new to the gameplay. Always. To video games in general, and I like kind of the moves that he does, and the whole move set, and the weapons. And the only thing that's kind of a little bit lacking in this one in particular is the story. I think this one is more focused on gameplay and graphics, which it does very, very well. And hopefully, I will have time to play this one.
Yeah, I mean, look at the design. I mean, look at that arm. That's beautiful, man. You know, nowadays in the art community, if you look at it, there's a lot of this new type of design. I'm not sure what they call it, but the way they are designed is very slick and very modern. And I really think the designs are very, very cool on this the Deus Ex series, especially the new ones.
Especially with the glasses and the outfits and stuff. It has a very, like, you know, a futuristic take on the Matrix outfits, which is it's really cool. So the thing is, we really love video games, like we really do. But because we have taken a path on creating collectibles, we don't have a lot of time for video games, which is a bit of a bummer.
No, but what we do is, what I do and what you do is actually we really keep up with what's going on in the community. Well, we also keep up with what's going on in the industry as well. I mean, there's too many cool things to not know.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's why, you know, it's just so much easier to watch movies, because once you watched it, it's done. But video games, you kind of need to, if you want to finish a video game and do all the quests and stuff, you need to spend a lot of time with it. But we will definitely be getting some of these video games on the list. Now, going over to the next one is Mirror's Edge.
Oh, wow.
Now, with Mirror's Edge, I played the first one. It's a good idea, but it's not something that I'm into. If it's first person, like, I would like it to have guns, or for me, it doesn't work out too well. I don't know. How do you feel about Mirror's Edge? Because it's mainly, you know, like running and dodging and jumping, and it's a very beautiful looking game. But yeah, I don't know. What do you feel about Mirror's Edge?
Of course, I will always talk about the design first, and I will always talk about the artwork. I think the design of Faith on this one, she is really beautiful. Compared to the first Faith, I think they really revamped the character. I really like the sleek look of her. I mean, she looks like an athlete.
Yeah. I think that's what they are, isn't it? They're like messengers, or...
Yep, they're well, this is the whole thing. It was a huge thing in 2010, 2011, the whole parkour thing. I think it started earlier on. It started in France, where people jump and it's a whole subculture by itself. I mean, where people jump on buildings and go crazy, and they're very, very acrobatic. And based on that hype, they came up with the first Mirror's Edge, and it was beautiful. I mean, the rendering beautiful. But the second Mirror's Edge, though, I mean, it's lost. How did I say it? It's lost its edge, I suppose.
Yeah, it usually kind of happens with sequels, doesn't it? Like, you know, the first one is such a good idea, and then they just can't harp on the second one.
Yeah. Based on the videos that I've seen, it does still play the way it used to play. I think people do like the way the gameplay works. But for me, I really still prefer the visuals of the first one.
Ah, nice.
But that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah, this is just our opinion, guys. Go out and play these games and post a comment if they're badass and you think we're wrong and stuff like that. Because It is the idea for Mirror's Edge. I like it a lot. It's very unique. I don't even think there's another game like it. Is there another game like Mirror's Edge? I don't think so.
No, I think this is quite unique. The rest of the games, like the ones that have parkour, like Assassin's Creed, of course, is third person, but this is first person, and I think it's quite unique in that sense.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. And the next game, which kind of had a lot of backlash, was No Man's Sky.
Let me pull it up. Let me just show this picture. I think this picture brings a lot of interesting comments.
And, the thing with No Man's Sky is when I first saw it at E3, I was like, this is something that I will be really interested in, because you are a guy and you have this spaceship and there's these universes. And I mean, that's really appealing for sci-fi fans. But then, it came out and a lot of people were not happy.
I think for what it is, I think it is a breakthrough. It's definitely a breakthrough. Now, of course, maybe the final product is not as awesome as what they promised. However, if you really think about what this game actually means to the industry, it's a huge thing, because all these worlds are procedurally built. Do you know what that means, procedurally built?
No.
Okay, so procedurally built means that all these worlds are generated based on data in entry. So you enter a bunch of data, you enter a bunch of information for the engine to actually generate the world itself. Basically, these worlds are actually based on evolution and whatever data that they fit, and then it comes up. So something interesting also is that they had to actually build drones and probes in the game to go and check out if everything is okay or not. So I guess the drone didn't work that well.
Oh, bugger. Yeah, but, I think, I haven't played this game. I've seen a few trailers on it and stuff like that. And, if, it did seem unique, original. But maybe it's going to get better in like some future DLCs. It seems like a game like Destiny that will have DLCs for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a huge potential. I mean, the engine is there. I think the developers are really working hard in trying to make it better, and all they need to do is just improve the data and improve the quality of the worlds that they are creating. I think it's got potential. It's got potential.
Yeah.
I haven't given up yet. Let's see where it goes.
Cool. So the next one we're going to be talking about is one that I think is only on the Xbox One and PC, so it's not on PlayStation, and it's called Recall. I saw a few trailers. I don't have an Xbox, but I saw a few trailers on this one, and it does it has this whole sci-fi element. I think she has like a dog that can transform into a different kind of machines, and it's a platformer, it got a pretty decent score with the reviews. But what do you think about Recall?
Well, to be honest, I'm really looking forward to playing it. I think I'll download it. You said that it's available on the PC?
Yeah, it's available on PC and Xbox.
So I think is it on Steam?
I don't know about that, but yeah, probably, maybe.
If it's on Steam, I'll probably go and check it out. I think it looks pretty interesting. Based on the trailers and based on the stuff, the videos that I saw on YouTube, I think it looks interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of this whole old school platformer sci-fi, and it brings back some memories. I'm a huge retro fan, if you didn't know.
Yeah, and it does look very retro. Like kind of her gun there looks like a World War I gun, which is modified, and it looks cool. I'm wondering if there's any villains in the game that are human or I just saw a lot of maybe she's the only one on the planet and stuff like that. But no, it's so we have left the best for last, and Gorilla.
Oh
If
my
you don't
God.
know about this,
I am excited.
I don't know if you're a sci-fi fan or not, but this is Horizon Zero Dawn. And
Boom, baby. Look at that. Oh my God.
I mean, this is like, this is next level sci-fi in terms of gaming and stuff. And, I saw a trailer on this and it's amazing. I mean, first of all, did you order the PlayStation, the Pro 4K?
Not yet. I will.
Yeah, I just ordered that on Amazon, and I kind of think that at the end of the year, I need a new TV because I don't have one of the 4K TVs yet. And I think that PlayStation works on the TV. That's why they released.
Well, whereas you can, for the full experience of, I mean, this game. For the full experience, I'm sure you will want to get a 4K TV or a monitor.
I'm sure, like in December, the 4Ks are going to come down, because TVs always drop. Like, I just look for like a Christmas deal.
There's some quite affordable ones, but I think you want to get the later ones because they have more features. But anyway, let's talk about this. I really, really salute the people who actually thought about the concept. I mean, it's dinosaurs of the future that reminds you of dinosaurs in the past, but the timeline is post-apocalyptic. I mean, oh my God, that is brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, that is a brilliant idea. And just from the trailers, like the gameplay that you can do with, with the bow and it like grappling lines into the dinosaur and posting them like on the floor, and the grenades, and it just I don't know, like this is a game. When it comes out, I'm taking time off work and I'm sitting down and I'm finishing it because it just looks incredible.
I mean, it's already won my heart, regardless of what the gameplay. I mean, even if the gameplay doesn't do so well, I think I would just play it to be in the world. I would want to go around, walk around, look at all the animals. And did you see the trailer for the game?
I did, and that's why I want to get a new TV because I want the full experience.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually jump on the dinosaur, climb the dinosaur, which is Shadow of the Colossus, awesome game.
Yes.
Climb it and actually do stuff on the dinosaur itself. I think that's brilliant. And the details and the design of the dinosaur, I love it. I love the mech look.
And with when I saw that Guerrilla Games was doing this, they're called Guerrilla Games, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
And when I saw that they were doing this, from Killzone 1, I am such a big fan of Killzone. Killzone 1 was kind of the best one in terms of the story and shooting and stuff. And then they did 2, 3, and they did a new one for PlayStation 4. But they also did a game that didn't get a lot of praise, and it was a World War. No, it wasn't a World War II game. It was a game in Vietnam, and the characters were turned into zombies, and you kind of had to make your way out of Vietnam. And I loved that game. So what the company, I'm very excited with this new title. It looks really amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, Guerrilla Games is part of Sony Computer Entertainment developers, so they are actually very backed up by Sony itself. So that's why it's a PlayStation exclusive, I think. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
And with the Guerrilla Games, they kind of make the best graphics. Like Killzone is such a beautiful game, and it seems like they're pushing the graphic bar even higher with Horizon, especially with this 4K and the new PlayStation and stuff like that. And yeah, very excited. So March, I think it comes out March the 3rd. I'm booking time.
I thought it was February. Oh, okay.
Don't ask me for any updates on March the 3rd. I'm just not going to be around. So yeah. So yeah, cool. Everything with video games, and let us go on over to sci-fi movies and sci-fi TV shows.
Okay.
The first one that we are going to be talking about is Morgan.
Morgan. Okay, hold on.
So with Morgan, I try and watch kind of all the sci-fi films from January to December. And Morgan, from me looking at the trailer, it looks very much like, what is that one with the girl in the robot suit?
The girl with the robot
Ex Machina. Ex Machina, yeah. But Morgan is directed by Ridley Scott, and I'm a huge fan.
Wait, hold on. It's not directed by Ridley Scott. It's produced by Ridley Scott.
Oh, it's produced by Ridley Scott. Oh, man, now I don't want to watch it. I'm kidding. Well, so yeah, what do you think about Morgan?
Yeah, well, when I watched it, yes, it did remind me a little bit of X.
Oh, you watched it?
No. I watched the trailer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to try and catch it as soon as possible. It's already out in the movies here. I think it's out there as well, right, Danny?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So I watched the trailer. It did remind me a little bit of Ex Machina, but I think it's got a little bit of a very original twist to it. It's not a spoiler. I mean, I haven't watched the movie, so I can't spoil it. So what it is that the girl is genetically engineered with a synthetic DNA. It's synthetic DNA. So she was in the trailer. They said that she's a test tube baby. You know what a test tube baby is, right?
Yeah.
So they engineered her DNA using synthetic material. So she's like nothing like no human has ever been before. And based on the trailer, she's still evolving. So it didn't get rave reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think the concept is pretty original, and I'll still watch it.
Cool. Yeah. So this one I'm very excited for. And it's a zombie flick, and it's called The Girl with All the Gifts.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I don't know if you have like a extensive knowledge on zombie flicks and stuff like that, but have you watched 28 Days Later?
I've watched all the 28 Days.
But the 28 Days Later, and specifically, that one was amazing. And this new film I am really excited about. I just saw the trailer, I think like a week ago or something like that. And yeah, I'm loving it. Did you manage to see the trailer for this or not yet?
I just watched it just before this chat, and I,
okay, cool.
To be honest, I actually didn't hear about it at all until you told me about it. I'm like, yeah, watch it. Okay. So I watched it. I could not really decipher what was going on in the trailer. But from the little things that I got was that she's kind of some anti-hero zombie girl that has powers to save the world, something like that.
Yeah, it seems like she is a zombie that has like these telekinesis powers, and somehow she like is slaying zombies, like she's like Blade. But I don't know, like it just looks really cool. I like the concept. I like that there's a twist, because zombie movies is like zombies eating humans, and that's more or less what it is. But this one seems like she is a zombie with superpowers who is saving humans, and that, we haven't watched it. It's not a spoiler. It's just our assumption on checking out the trailer, but it looks great.
Yeah, it does. Zombie superhero. I have a problem with horror films in general. I can't watch a horror flick by myself, so that's why I'm probably going to go and watch it in the cinema with everybody around me. So we'll see.
Okay, cool. I don't watch horror flicks at all, but yeah. So the next one, which a lot of people told me about this, and I didn't listen to them. I was just like, I got stuff to do. I'm not watching this, so I'm not watching this. And Mafizel, when I was in Singapore, he was like, watch Stranger Things.
Yeah, man. Strangers.
I watched episode 1 and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
You know, I think how people can really connect with Stranger Things is that I think the guys use a very, very classic formula. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got the feeling of Stephen King. It's got the feeling of Steven Spielberg in it. It's got really good actors, and I think the setting is, and I think people just really connect with it. It's got
Yeah. And I think, this one is particularly good if you're a nerd. So if you like Star Wars or X-Men, or there's so many references that they use in the dialogue and stuff. Even the famous game Dungeons and Dragons, that's how it starts and stuff. And yeah, I cannot wait to finish this and go on to season 2 if they're going to make one. So very, very, with sci-fi, we don't really get to see a lot of sci-fi which is really good so often. But this one is definitely something that I would recommend that peeps see.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know about this, but I'm a big fan of HBO. I watch a lot of HBO's TV shows.
Originals? Yeah, you're talking about HBO originals, right?
Yeah. Like Game of Thrones. That's
Okay.
and like The Wire or Sopranos.
Watch movies all the time. Okay.
Yeah, and there's one coming out, I think, not this Sunday, next Sunday, and it's called Westworld. Now, I'm a really big fan of Westerns. Like, there was a point that I was thinking about making Bathos Western. And well, I didn't do that because I like sci-fi even more than Westerns. But this one, it's kind of like, have you seen the trailer for Westworld?
No, I have not.
Basically what it is it's these like scientists and stuff like this, and they take these characters from the real world and they put them like in this machine, and this machine, it's kind of like Matrix. It transports them to this Western world, and if they die in the machine, I think they die in the Western world as well. It looks amazing. I really cannot wait to watch that.
I have to go and check it out. What's it called again? Westworld.
Westworld. So yeah, that's the Stranger Things, the girl with all the gifts, and Westworld. So there's a lot of stuff to watch from now till the end of the year, which is sci-fi and which is awesome. Okay, so let's just talk quickly about 2 classics, and the first classic that we are going to be talking about is The Matrix.
Right.
What are your thoughts on The Matrix?
The most original sci-fi storyline at that time. I think the Wachowski siblings, they were brothers at that time, but now they're Wachowski siblings. You can find out why later, but I think they came up with a really good concept. I mean, I think it was already brooding in everybody's mind that we are all part of a computer program, and I think they just put that idea onto film, and I think they did a really good job. But I don't know, did they come up with anything nice after that one?
No, I don't know. Basically, it's kind of like I watched a video on YouTube, and there was this guy, and he took like all of these segments from older films, and he put them all together, and he showed like this is the Matrix, and this is how they got the idea, and it's really cool. And I think what they did is they researched like a lot of classical films and a lot of sci-fi films and stuff, and they made this really, really good idea. There's a lot of references from the Matrix to Ghost in the Shell as well, and I think they did really good with it. Talking about the Matrix, I kind of only liked the first one. I think the whole sequel thing was, I don't know if it was to make money or if I just don't like the second and the third Matrixes. But the first one was brilliant. What do you think about the sequels?
I think I know why you don't like the first and the second and the third one. Because the first one was a complete mind-blowing experience.
Yeah.
It's a new concept. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know that this kind of thing, this kind of movie would be like this. But then the second one and the third one, they didn't really come up with any new mind-blowing breakthrough ideas.
Yeah.
They just followed the story through. But I think it has gathered enough fans that it actually, I liked it. I like the continuation of the story. I mean, it completed the entire thing. Although the languages they used was English, and I'm not really good at English. So it was, some of them are really like technical jargons. I couldn't understand anything, especially in that scene when he was talking to the architect. Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like that was like that went over a lot of people's heads, and I think the directors wanted it that way. But like, you know, Aliens 1 is kind of like, these space travelers, and they're going to this station or whatever, and their ship gets infested by this alien, okay? And then the alien starts killing all of them, and then at the end, they kill the alien. And if you haven't watched Alien, sorry, that's a massive spoiler. But then the second one is, you kind of start seeing where the aliens are from, how they breed, who their queen is, and the first and the second Alien movie, it just kind of, it gelled so well, and that's kind of what I wanted for the Matrix. But as you said, it was, I don't know, but sometimes it works, like kind of like Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. Terminator 1, you kind of saw the machine and how he just wanted to kill, and then Terminator 2, you see a machine that wants to save from the other machine. So, you kind of always have to twist it up and make people interested in your film. But that's just my opinion on the Matrix.
Well, actually, that's a good point. Actually, if you really think about it, Terminator 1 had a budget of like $1. And Terminator 2 had the budget of $1 million. Yeah. So if you look at the Aliens, it's the same thing as well. I mean, Aliens 1 had $1, and then Aliens 2, they got the director, Ridley Scott? No.
James Cameron
to do it.
Yeah.
Which did Terminator 2. So I think the Matrix already had a really big budget.
They should have just brought in James Cameron for the second one. I gave him all the money, and he would have done a good job.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yes. But I really love the Matrix. I think they have really unique characters, very good design again, and I think the idea was the one that actually really made it really cool.
Yeah, no doubt. And another one that we're going to be talking about is the Space Odyssey.
Yes, 2001 Space Odyssey.
I only watched this like 2 years ago, and it's brilliant. I mean, it's a very deep film. I think Stanley Kubrick or however you say his name.
Don't you dare mispronounce his name. Stanley Kubrick.
I'm so sorry. Let's edit that out. But his films are so deep, and he's made some of the best films in Hollywood, and a lot of people think that he was the best director out there, and rightfully so. He was very good, and I just love the film. it threw in a lot of elements of obviously sci-fi and science, and he made it so long ago, and it's still just a stone cold classic.
Yes, I mean, the concept of 2001 Space Odyssey itself, I think, had a lot of controversy onto it because have you heard of this conspiracy theory where they said that I don't know whether we should talk about it, but the conspiracy theory is saying that Stanley Kubrick actually helped fake the moon landing. Boom!
No, I
Well,
haven't heard about that.
that's one of the conspiracy theory. I don't say I believe it, but that's one of the conspiracy theory. So 2001 Space Odyssey itself, the way it's shot, the way it's done, the storyline itself, I think, had a lot of controversy to it. Until today, I mean, people are still trying to decipher what he actually is trying to say about that film.
Fair enough. Have you heard that theory where kind of like the moon was like a battleground before and it was destroyed, and that's kind of how it became the moon?
Yes.
You have?
Of course.
Hey, let's stop talking about theory, because then people aren't going to watch our chats anymore. Okay, so let us go on to Sci-Fi Comics, and there is a comic that came out, I think it's 3 years ago now, I think it's 3 or 4 years ago now, but that is Saga.
Right.
And
My God.
we have talked about Saga so much, like in the years that we have known each other, and we have tried to get the license, and we failed because we didn't even know where to look. But we really love Saga, and can you speak about Saga, why you like it, and then I'll flip it back to myself.
All right. So, if you're Image Comics, we would really love to hear from you.
If you're watching this, conversation. This is our pitch.
No, but Saga, I think the comic itself, the storyline, I really, really loved it. I didn't expect it to be that good because when it came out, Danny told me, like, Jai, you got to read Saga. I was like, what Saga? I don't want to watch. I wouldn't want to read a comic book about cats. But no spoilers again. But when I read it, I fell in love with it. I couldn't stop. I couldn't put it down, and I wanted more. And I think when it came out, we read it, and then it was a monthly comic. Was it a monthly or a weekly comic?
Yeah, monthly. Yeah.
And I finished one, and then I had to wait a whole month to read the other one, and I'm like, come on. So I really loved it.
Yeah, and there's so many really cool aspects that they bring to the plate. Like his cat knows if people are lying, and I mean it's just amazing. Like, and these cats are on the market, and you can buy a lying cat, and it's just there's so many awesome things that are happening with Saga. And with Saga there's also bounty hunters in Saga. Will is a bounty hunter, and it's an amazing universe, and it is probably the comic right now that I am enjoying the most. It has won numerous awards in the comic industry, and rightfully so. It's an amazing comic.
If you haven't read it, we really suggest that you go and pick it up now. I mean, you can buy it over Comixology, or you can actually go down to your local comic book store and actually pick it up. And I really love to hold paper comic on my hand, but yeah, you guys should definitely go and read this one.
Yeah, and like since 2010 to now 2016, when we thought about the idea for Bathos, we were like, there is a lot of new stuff that has come out, which is way better than anything old, and we're not saying that, Bathos is better than Star Wars or anything like that. We are just saying, what?
Yeah, we're not?
No, we're not. No, don't ever say that. Oh my gosh. But what we kind of are saying is that we think that for collectors, there should be an original universe. And it was stuff like, Dark Souls for me, Demon Souls came out in 2009, and stuff like Saga, stuff like Low, and even, I only found out about like stuff like Game of Thrones when I know Game of Thrones is very old when you, with the books, it came out, I think in 1992 or something like that. But just watching it on TV and seeing something new and something fresh in the medieval genre. And by the way, talking about Game of Thrones books are way better than the TV series. If you've never read the books, I would highly recommend it. The TV series is 10 out of 10. It's the best thing since sliced bread. But, hey?
11 out of 10. I loved it.
11 out of 10. But the books are 20 out of 10. The books are really, really good, and I'm loving every single bit of them. The next couple of comics that Mafisal hasn't read these, so I'm just going to go through these really quick. And this is Low from Image Comics, and there is
picture for you guys. I love the way it's looking. I mean, I definitely
the artist, I forget his name, and he's a really, really talented artist. And the writer is Rick Remender, I think his name is, and
Remender and Tocchini. Tocchini?
Yeah. Remender is like, Rick is like, I love his comic books. Like, he wrote the Uncanny X-Force, amazing X-Men story. And there's a lot of things that he wrote that escapes me. I think he's also writing Black Scientists or Black Science by Image Comics, which I haven't read. But he is, basically what the story is it's about like kind of these like it's about like a planet, and there's like space stations underneath this planet which is covered with water, and like air is currency. So, to get oxygen is currency to live in Low, and basically the people who are at the bottom, the air is running out, and they are like moving to different higher stations to get more air. And there's pirates and there's bounties in it, and it's about this family that has this really advanced suit, and it's an amazing, amazing universe.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, but this comic cover though, she looks like she's really enjoying that octopus, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very kind of, it's so different, and that's what sci-fi should be. And the other one that we're going to be talking about is Empress.
Yes.
And Empress, I've only kind of read a couple of issues, but this is by the legendary Mark Millar. If you don't know who Mark Millar is, just go check him out. He's written some of the best comics: Nemesis, Old Man Logan, Red Sun. He is like one of the most amazing writers, and he has finally stepped into the sci-fi genre. And Empress is all kind of about, I don't want to kind of spoil it, but it's about an empress that she's kind of sick of being with the king of the galaxy, and she tries to escape, and that in the comic is a bad idea because he starts pursuing her, and it's an amazing story. So go check those out.
Who published this one, Danny?
This is Image.
Okay.
Yeah,
Image Comics comes up with really, really nice ones.
Yeah, and I read Batman for years, but then I found out about Image Comics, and Image is an amazing company that brings fresh new stories to fans and stuff like that. And yeah, so any sci-fi comics that you want to talk about, Mafizal? Like, it doesn't have to be those three.
No, I think we've talked about a lot of sci-fi stuff already, and I think we've talked quite a bit about that particular genre. But Image actually came up with some really. I do want to talk a little bit about Image Comics, though. I mean, Image Comics, when they first came out, I remember it was 1992, 1993, something like that. But what they are doing until today is something that I really love, which is anybody can actually approach Image Comics if you have a good idea. Anybody can go to Image Comics and get them to publish a story or comic for you.
Yes.
And on top of that, you actually own the rights.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
Huh? What
That's
do you think?
amazing. I mean, it's like, and the stories that come out of Image, it's a brilliant idea, brilliant company, and I support them monthly. It's something fresh from other stuff, and they have some really, really good stories. So if you do like sci-fi, go and check them out. I think that's us for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope that we see you guys next week. We're going to try and make time. The days will always change because it just depends on Mafizal or myself is working. But we hope that you like this chat, and we hope to see you next week. And shout out to everybody that is supporting Bathos and is interested in the universe and supporting HMO as a whole. We're really trying to be a different company and give guys a different aspect of collecting. So Mafizal, any last thoughts before we go?
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the talks. I hope you find our conversations entertaining. And like what Danny said, it's like we're going to try and do this weekly, but the days might change. And we will always be trying to cover the latest pop culture, and we'll also be sharing some of the stuff. Of course, not everything we can share about HMO, but what we can share, we will definitely share it on this chat. And if you guys think you guys have some topics you guys want us to talk about, please feel free to put it in the comments, and then we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah, cool. So thank you, Mafizal. I will be checking you next week. And thanks to all that have been watching. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys. Get back to work.